Good, everyone. It is 5:32 p.m. This is the Laredo College Finance and Audit Committee meeting, and I call this meeting to order. We'll proceed with roll call. Tita Vela. Here. Karina Elizondo, absent. Esteban Angel, absent. Jorge Delgado, present. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 3, which is the February 2023 financial report. Mr. Cesar Vela.
Good evening, board members. Included in your board packet, you should have received a copy of the a financial report for the month of February. I'll quickly go over the main items of the report. As of February 28th, the revenues are at $60,154,048. That's 90.7% of our budgeted revenue. At this point last year, we were at 84.9% of our revenue. And the reason for that is that we were pending to record the CARES Act funding. That transaction actually was recorded at the end of the fiscal year. This year, again, we did not waive any of the tuition and fees, so that is reflected on the February 28th report. As far as other items, the item to note is under other funds, and I think we mentioned this in the past reports. The interest revenue, as interest rates have gone up, has increased. We had budgeted 300,000. We're at 1,088,000. So that's 362% of the over our budget. So as of February 28th, or the first 6 months of operation, we have a balance remaining of 6.1 million. Just in state appropriations, we're still pending to receive 6.4 million. We do have the payments that need to go out for the maintenance and tax note and the revenue bonds. So for the revenue bonds, we have a payment pending of 3.6 million. And for the maintenance tax note, 2.8 million. So again, we do have 6.4 million that is coming from the state. We still have about 3.1 also from tax collections. And then we do have the revenue, tuition and fee revenue for the summer sessions that is not reflected in this report. So overall, we are projecting that we will be hitting our budgeted target of 66.2 million at the end of the fiscal year. As far as expenditures, through the first 6 months of operations, the total expenditures are at 29,038,214, or 43.8% of our budgeted expenditures. At this point last year, our expenditures were at 27.3 million, or 44% of our budget. So again, we are pretty much in line to our budget through the first 6 months of operations. We don't have any major variances at this point to report on the expenditure side. As far as the other funds, the special appropriation fund, we have a budget of 244,000. Revenues are at 95,255, or roughly about 39%. Expenditures for the operations of the EDC, 91,817 for the year. That brings up the increase to the fund balance of 3,438 through the first 6 months of operations. Auxiliary services, revenues of 1,185,369. That reflects 83% of our budgeted revenue. Expenses for the first 6 months stand at 404,239, or 28.4% of our budget. We are reflecting an increase of 781,130 for the first 6 months of operations. So there are a couple of transactions that are still pending under auxiliary services, and these are the summer session revenue. For restricted funds, for the year, we have revenues and expenses of 19,716,118. The majority of the revenue is coming from our Title IV grants, which are our Pell grants, both for the fall and spring semester. Approximately on that one item, for the year from Pell, we have received 15,586,146 in revenue. And again, that has gone to for tuition and fee payments as well as reimbursement to students. Facilities master plan, we began the fiscal year with a budget, balance of 17,498,900. We had the interest revenue for the year of 253,675. Expenditures for the current projects that we're working on for the year total 5,062,425. That's a net change or decrease to the available balance of 4.8 million. So currently, right now, the balance at the end of February stands at 12,690,150. And these are already funds that are being allocated to the projects that we're currently working on. Tax collections through the first 6 months of operations. We have received in tax revenue 39,119,672. That represents 91.55% of our tax levy. We're a little bit behind compared as a percentage from last year. We were at 92.88%. At this point right now, we still feel that we will be reaching the target of 99% collections for the fiscal year. The investment report, and this is information as of January 31st. Total investments are 123,460,560. 100 million are in bank deposits. We do have a T-bill of 3.3 million. And investment pools of 19.1 million. As I mentioned, the interest rate continued to go up. Currently, the money market account is yielding 3.46%, and this was as of the end of January. The Lone Star and the FIT investment pool 4.57 and 4.61. And the UST note is yielding at 3.01%. And the last item of the report is an update on the general operating fund balance. We began the fiscal year with a 5,044,204 fund balance. Revenues for the first 6 months of operations are 60,154,048. Expenditures of 29,038,214. We are reflecting the balance transfers for the deferred maintenance projects. At the end of the fiscal year, we allocated 20% of the savings to the deferred maintenance, and that totaled 1,856,270. The difference of 5 million is the amount that is being allocated to the Martinez Fine Arts Center HVAC project. So we do have for the year a reduction of 6.8 million to the fund balance. So at the end of the first 6 months of operations, we have a net change to the general operating fund balance of 24,259,564, and that is an increase. Again, we do have the last 6 months of operations that will bring that number down. At the end of the fiscal year, we're projecting that, again, based on what we're seeing right now with operations and the budget, we are projecting that we're going to be around that $4 to $5 million net change to the fund balance. And that concludes the information. Any questions or items that you want us to review?
No questions. Thank you, Mr. Ella. Very appreciated. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, annual review and adoption of Laredo College Board Policy CAK Local Appropriations and Revenue Sources Investments. Mr. Cesarella.
Yes, board members. This next item is to request that the board review and approve the investment policy for fiscal year 2023. Under the Public Funds Investment Act, it is required that the board review the policy on an annual basis. So the policy that's included in your board packet pretty much does not include any major changes. The only items that we're making changes to are section 5.1, which is the designation of the investment officer, and that is just to reflect a change on the title The old policy stipulated that the investment officer was the vice president of finance. We're making a change to now include vice president of finance and administration. Section 6.1 is just the open meeting, and that is the meeting date of when the board received an update on the policy, and that is reflected on page 10 of 10. Section 6.1 is just to change the date from January 27, 2022 to March 29, 2023, which is the date of the board meeting. And then the last item that will be changed on the policy is section 6.2, which is the effective date. And this will change from January 27, 2022 to March 29, 2023. Again, those are the only changes that are being recommended at this time.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Vela. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 5, approval of contract and associated costs for movement of PNC monuments to private David B. Barkley Cantu Memorial Chapel. Mr. Cesarella.
Yes, board members, we are asking for approval to approve a contract in the amount of $78,000 with Laredo Construction of Texas. And this is to relocate existing artwork at the PNC Bank Motor Bank to the Laredo College David Berkeley Chapel here at the main campus. And we're also asking to use $20,000 from the deferred maintenance fund to use as a contingency for the project to provide lighting and landscaping work around the new monument location. PNC has agreed to reimburse Laredo College $58,000 for the cost of relocating the monuments. We did go out for quotes for this project. We received 3 quotes. Again, the lowest bidder was Laredo Construction, came in at $58,000. And again, PNC has agreed to reimburse the college for that cost. We are asking again the $20,000 to include lighting in the area and the landscaping. The work that will be part of this project is basically to relocate some dedication plaques that are currently at the motor bank at the PNC. There is an eagle on a pedestal wall that will be relocated over also here to the main campus, a soldier on a pedestal base, and obviously a granite piece that will have to be relocated in 3 sections because of the size of the granite piece.
Mr. Vela, just for clarification, you said that Laredo Construction bid $58,000
That is correct, sir.
and PNC is going to reimburse us for $58,000?
Yes,
So the contract for $78,000, that $20,000 that's used for deferred maintenance, what is that for?
the 20,000 will be to provide lighting and landscaping around yes, it'll be here. Yes, that's not included in the amount that was agreed by PNC. So we're asking that that be allocated from the college. Any other questions on this item?
None of this side.
No, thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 6, approval of computer equipment purchase for campus computer labs. Mr. Cesar Vela.
Board members, I'm gonna defer to Mr. Albert Chavez to present this item.
Good evening, members of the Finance and Audit Committee. This is Albert Chavez, Associate Vice President for Information Technology. For this particular item, we're requesting approval for the purchase of computers that will be installed in the computer labs at the Fort McIntosh campus. For this particular purchase, we are going to acquire or planning to acquire 259 computers with corresponding monitors. And the vendor for this project is Dell, using a DIR state contract, which is DIR TSO 3763. And this particular purchase was budgeted in the current IT budget.
What are we doing with the old computers?
The old computers go to our warehouse and then they auction them off.
Awesome.
And I forget to mention here the details. So these are computers that are older than 4 years old on the campus.
Very nice. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chavez.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 7, approval for the purchase of new chiller cooling tower for South Campus. Mr. Cesar.
Yes, board members, we're asking that the board approve a contract in the amount of 347,610 with Train. And this is for the replacement of chiller number 4 at the South Campus. The contract amount includes a $50,000 contingency to be used only if needed with approval from the college. We currently have 4 chillers at the South Campus. One of them is recently new. It was placed when we built the College of Health Sciences building. The other 3 are approximately 18 years old, and they're in need of to be replaced. Actually, we did some work on chiller number 3 during the spring break. We did have to bring the system down a couple of days to do that, those repairs. Currently, the South Campus can operate with 3 chillers. We do have 4 chillers, and that is again as redundancy in case of an emergency that 4th chiller operates. Unfortunately, this chiller number 4 has been offline for some time now. And I do have some pictures here, and I know pictures say more than 1,000 words on what we're looking at. This is work that it is really needed. So you can see here some of the pictures of the conditions of this tower or chiller number 4. There is that need to do work on this chiller. We did look at several options. One of the options was to basically overhaul the chiller using galvanized steel components, but the cost to do that was $232,000. The cost to install a new one, the unit itself cost about approximately $131,000, and then obviously the installation costs, which is what is being recommended for the board to consider, which is the $347,610. You can see, like I said, this is equipment that is in dire need to be replaced. It is 18 years old. We do have 2 other chillers that are 18 years old at the South Campus. The ones here at the main campus, I'm being told that are older than these ones. So we are working on a 5-year plan to start looking at replacing some of these chillers. Again, right now, the issue that we have at the South Campus is that if we do have one of the other chillers go down, we don't have the backup. So there is a window here where we can get the equipment ordered and delivered by the end of May, so that we can have it and try to have it installed during the early months of the summer, so that in case we have any issues with the other two chillers, like I mentioned, one of them is new because it was part of the College of Health Sciences building project. But we got 2 other chillers there that are 18 years old. Now we did, like I said, we did some work on chiller number 3 during spring break. So that should be in better shape than this one, but this one really needs to be replaced. So the funding for the project, we do have available funding through the deferred maintenance project. Originally, we had identified a project at the South Campus to do some work on the walkways. We're gonna have to defer that project, and as this project takes priority. Once we take into account this project, we will still have a balance of $420,268 in the deferred maintenance fund. So the funding is available to the deferred maintenance project, and again, this would address that issue that we currently have, that in case we do have one of the other chillers go down, we will have that backup. And the idea is to rotate the chillers so that we can extend the life of the other chillers, and also we need to bring one of them down for maintenance. We don't have to bring the whole campus down like we had to do this past spring.
Is there any difference in the new chiller that we're purchasing compared to the previous ones? Like, is there any significant upgrades, or is it the same technology that it was for 18?
As far as the technology, not sure. I do know it's a replacement. We had looked at the option of doing an upgrade on the chiller. However, for us to do an upgrade on the chiller, and we would need to do changes to the structure itself. So it was gonna entail concrete work and other items. So this is a replacement per se. Now, as far as the technology, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if Homer has that information here.
And I guess the main reason I ask is just that since we're replacing something that's 18 years old, and we hope that the technology continues to progress, how long are we gonna continue to spend several hundreds of thousands of dollars on replacing these that may be technology that's 20 years old, or in technology years, probably 50?
Right, I'm on vice for the record, project manager for college. This is an upgraded, unit, of course, technology has advanced quite a bit. So we have the option of going from a stainless steel unit, to a, composite corrosion, resistant tower. So it's a new material that's out there that prolongs the life of these units. So we are doing quite a bit of an upgrade.
So how long would, say, these last before we have to consider doing?
So this one, we're, compared, the stainless steel will give us a 5-year on parts and 1 year on labor. And the composite tower gives us 15 years of structurally, on the unit, 5 years on the parts and 1 year of labor. So we get a lot more going with the composite.
No question. All right, thank you, Mr. Price. Thank you, Mr. Vela. Questions?
No, that's fine.
All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 8, approval of 5-year, 4-month agreement with Techno Solutions, Inc. for use of Slate customer relations software. Dr. Fred Solis and Mr. Cesarella.
Yes, board members, we're actually gonna ask that this item be deferred to the April meeting. We did have an update that was not reflected at the time of that we created the agenda, so we're working through the details. We're gonna ask that the item be deferred. We do know that I believe it's included as part of the consent agenda, so we can just make that clarification before.
Just remind us tomorrow. Just
Yes.
make sure that happens. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 9, approval of regular scholarship matching funds as per donor request. Ms. Sara A. Pompa.
Thank you, Mr. Delgado. Good evening, members of the Audit and Finance Committee, members of the President's Cabinet. Sara Alicia Pompa, Associate Director of Donor and Alumni Relations, coming before you to request your consideration and approval for a request for a scholarship match. This particular request is for the IME Becas scholarships, which, as you will know, are the scholarships that are provided to our students on behalf of the Mexican government through the IME, which is the Instituto de Mexicanos en el Exterior. We have received notification that the 2023 funding cycle for IME Becas for Laredo will be up to $15,000. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we're getting the entire $15,000 because they divvy it up between our institution and TAMU. So for us, we would probably be getting about $7,700 or $7,500, which is why we have the need to provide a match, because that's part of the agreement that we've had with the Mexican consulate.
So we're matching up to
Up to $750 is what would be our match. Of course, if we got the whole $15,000, then we have to match up to $15,000.
Okay, questions?
Thank you.
Ms. Pompa. All right, thank you very much, everyone. It is 5:57 and we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you coming.